So we were in Barbados just last week.
Yeah.
And there's no good way out of this story for me because I'm going to sound like Charlie Big Bananas, but I had my own butler.
What? You had your own butler?
I didn't know I had my own butler. Right?
What, the holiday came with a butler?
Because I had ordered a suite. Because I booked a
you
suite.
Fucking
no. Because I booked a suite, right? Because I booked a suite. This isn't even part of the story, but this is how I get to the story. Because I booked a suite at this beautiful hotel in Barbados.
Yeah.
They said to me on like day 2 or 3, have you met your butler yet? And I said, sorry, what, my butler? I said, why? I haven't got a butler. And they said, you have. Your suite comes with a butler. And I said, well, what does he do? She said, anything you want.
Where is he?
And I said, well, I've not met him yet. And so she went, oh, he's called Tyrone and you'll meet him later. So I meet this butler and he's a lovely guy called Tyrone. And his whole job was to look after me during my stay. But like, I felt so awkward. Like,
of course you did.
Well,
that's not normal.
Well, apparently in this hotel, in the suite, it is. So like, I hardly got him to do anything, right? So I would say, he'd go like, well, you need to get me to do something. It's my job. And I'd go, can you put some ice in my room and maybe some Coke Zero so I can have a rum later? And he was like, yeah, no problem. But like, he'd catch me going downstairs in the morning to put towels on my thing. And he'd be like, I would have done that this morning. And I was like, but I don't want to ask you to do. I said, all that I want you to do is wear a different, because he had to wear like a shirt and like a tie and all that, and it was 30 degrees. I said, all that I want you to do is put some shorts on and a t-shirt and chill. I said, like, I don't want to tell you what to do. But the reading the room part, so that's just a side story. So I'm talking to the butler and the manager of the hotel, and they're trying to move me to a different suite because I had a couple of problems. And I've gone down to the beach and I've met this guy called Frank, who basically essentially tried to sell me marijuana.
Okay.
And I said, I don't, but I told them, and Kerry went, you're going to get Frank the sack because he probably works.
Does Frank work there?
No, he didn't look, he looked like a guy on the beach that was doing coconuts, but essentially selling me weed, which I didn't obviously want.
So he could have been selling dodgy football shirts, but also a bit of weed.
Yeah. And she said, you've thrown Frank under the bus, read the room. And I was like, I didn't think. I'd had a few rums. I didn't think. I was just like...
You were stoned.
I was off my tits.